The NFL stands for not for long.
Set, Sharga and Armstead. Roll out, Walker still running out. Looks to the left, wide open, Thompson touchdown. Colin Thompson with the touchdown. There was nobody within 20 yards of him.
What a catch off the bobble. Colin Thompson scoops it up.
Lofting corner, the end zone. It is caught for the touchdown. The first NFL touch for Colin Thompson is a score.
What's up, everybody? Happy holiday season. Welcome back to the Colin Thompson Show, brought to you by the original Fudge Kitchen, fudgekitchens.com. They ship fudge. They ship sweet treats around the country. Check them out. They'll bring the fudge right to you. Don't go to the convenience store and go cheap and hook somebody up and stuff your stockings with just the regular BS you stuff it with. Go to fudgekitchens.com. Check them out. They have everything from all the sweet treats in the world, the chocolates, the handmade chocolates, the candies, saltwater taffies, the whole nine. They'll ship it right to your door. And, of course, that handcrafted fudge that you only can get down the Jersey Shore. It's that salt air. It's that moisture. Check them out, fudgekitchens.com. Hope everyone's having an awesome holiday season. From my family to yours, I really appreciate it. No pod last week. Was sick. Had a lot going on in my personal life. All good stuff that I'll be filling everybody in soon. A lot of fun stuff at Food Drinks Football. If you don't know what that is, check it out. YouTube, Food Drinks Football. Bunch of great episodes. They've done really well viewership wise. We're really excited. So check them out. Lots to tackle today on the show. Bill Belichick to UNC, still a great topic. The Heisman Trophy, Travis Hunter, still a great topic. Stuff going around the NFL. We're going to talk about that. Going to talk about the Philadelphia Eagles. Going to talk about just a couple things that are going on like our normal do. But we'll dive right in. We're going to get right into Bill Belichick here. Bill Belichick and the Carolina Tar Heels hit an absolute grand slam. They're going to kill it. They're going to crush it. Bill is built for this. What are the complaints? His age? I got recruited by people just as old as him coming out, and they didn't have one Super Bowl ring, not 8 like Coach Belichick has. You can't relate to players. It doesn't really matter now. And even back then, it's all small talk anyways. What's the depth chart? What's the education look like? And now it's how much are you paying me? So the relatable part, Bill's a nice guy. Bill's lightened up personality-wise, looks like publicly. He's going to kill it there. And it's not about relating to players anymore. It's about paying them. Everyone's on one-year deals. So when it comes to salary cap, he was one of the best GMs in NFL history. He can handle that. Roster management, it's going from 140 players to 105. I think he can handle that. Getting more out of players that you're paying less, he can handle that. Talent evaluation and NFL structure of a building, they're going to handle that tremendously. Lombardi will do a great job there. He's done a bunch in the league as an executive and in media. Staffing, who's not going to want to go work for Bill Belichick? Even if you want to go coach in the NFL, it's a great stepping stone in, and he'll vouch for you around the league. Location, conference, opportunity, perfect spot, located right between Florida and right between the Northeast in recruiting. Not far from the Midwest, great weather, huge brand, big support, boosters, the whole nine. It's a home run, and they're going to kill it, and I would not be shocked if they're in the college football playoff right away. Anything negative you could say about it, I'd argue against it because of the modern world of college football. He's absolutely perfect for it. What a home run for North Carolina football and their fans. We'll keep it here with college football. Travis Hunter wins the Heisman, and he completely deserves it. For anybody who says he doesn't deserve it, I don't think they truly understand the amount of volume that this man plays per game. 100+ reps per game. Most guys are playing 40 on one side of the ball. Maybe a little more, maybe a little less. This guy's playing a ton of reps, and that's why he deserved the Heisman. He played at a high level. They didn't even throw at him anymore. And to be honest, a lot of people ask me what he's going to do in the NFL. Personally, in the NFL, I think he's going to be a lockdown corner. He's not the biggest guy, so how's he going to get exposed in the run game? Something to keep an eye on. You don't really see that in college as much. Offensive linemen blocking in space, tight ends blocking out there. So that should be interesting. He's shifty enough to get around it. He's tough enough for sure. But I think he's going to be a lockdown corner, and I think he's going to get some time, maybe returning a punt or two. Electric, need a big play, Deion Sanders style, and then probably get 10 to 20 reps on offense. So he's still going to play both ways. You could see it maybe more on a third down, man-to-man situations, goal line, short yardage. red zone where you're not running as far, because now you play more games in college. Guys are more games in the NFL. Now you play more games in the NFL. It's more physical. It's grown men. It's shorter areas because of the hash marks, right? It's more congested. So it's a little bit more big boy ball. He'll still be the first overall pick. Still be a great player in the league. He'll be elite. But I do think he will play both plays in the league, and I think his predominant position will be defensive back. Really cool to see. I mean, what Deion's done from a mentorship standpoint is incredible. That guy gets a bad rap, Deion Sanders. I mean, what's your complaint with him? What is it? Well, he cut all those players. Deion Sanders cut all those players, man. He was smart. The team was bad, and you can do it. He was the first to do it. There's people around the country cutting 60 guys a year. 60. Deion had like 45 or 50, and people were complaining. Look at all his kids. They're all mentors, leaders, great players. Travis Hunter's crying in his arms when he wins the Heisman. He's crying in his arms. This is his coach. Pretty impressive. Pretty impressive guy. Really impressive. Everything he touched has success. And honestly, it's remarkable how people just kind of look at social media and they don't spend the time and the effort to look at really what this guy's done there. This Colorado, the football brand. I mean, when's the last time they were even remotely relevant and even talked about? So I think Florida State's nuts for not getting them. Nuts. Stupid. Every player in the state of Florida and Alabama and Georgia would go to him. You would dominate those three states and win forever. Now, I like Coach Norvell, who's there. I think what he did from a defensive perspective, bringing in the DC, Coach White from Nebraska, elite. Coach Malzahn, obviously head coach at UCF. He steps down to take the job there. They got great coaches. Now it's going to be player evaluation. How can they get the players right in the portal? What that looks like from their perspective. I wanted to kind of fill everybody in on what's going on in college football. All right, so there's a new college football here, and not that many people are talking about what's coming. This is from all my friends in different conferences, different leagues around the country. Change is coming, and it's coming very quickly. Roster size from whatever it is now that you have, 140, 130, 150, is going down to 105 players, okay? From there, I'm hearing most teams are going to carry between 75 and 85 scholarships, only leaving about, 15 or so spots for walk-ons. Everyone's going to get slotted back, right? Now these developmental leagues are Division II, Division I AA, FCS, right? They're going to become developmental leagues now. If you're a 2-star, 3-star guy, you're going to those leagues and then playing your way into the big leagues. Very much like baseball style. That's how it's become. 1-year deals. Everybody plays right away. There's no developmental players anymore. Most of us were developmental guys. Most of us didn't play as freshmen. You are playing as a freshman. You're playing as a freshman down on the lower level, or you're playing as a freshman at the higher level. That is done. There'll be a couple of developmental players per team, but at the end of the day, it's going to be a salary cap situation. $22 million, $23 million per each university. That's just to pay players, student athletes with. Each university decides what percentage of that pie goes to what student athletes. Football may get 12 to 14 million out of that 22 million. Maybe if you're a basketball school, football gets 10 million, basketball gets X. Who knows, right? All players should be paid through it, because if not, players could sue for wrongful wages and things like that. How's Title IX going to get involved, right? So it's very unique what's coming. And I'm hearing NIL is all but dead to some extent, unless you can improve. You can prove now that anything over $600 you're getting from NIL is true return and investment, true ROI for an individual. You pay Colin $1 million to go there, Colin better show that he can provide $1 million in marketing for that university. So it's completely changing. People aren't talking about it, but it is completely changing. And I think people need to start talking about it more. It's not set in stone yet, but it's coming, and it's coming really fast, and it's going to change college football forever, even more than before. The guardrails are good, though. I think the guardrails are ideal, and I think they'll be beneficial to a lot of schools. I still think the Premier League model is great. If Alabama's coming to Temple to go buy a player, Alabama owes Temple money. If Temple goes to Westchester to buy a player, Temple owes Westchester money, right? If Westchester goes to Temple or Alabama to buy a player, they don't owe them anything, right? They're a lower level team. Transfer money, Premier League does that. I think it's great. And it would be a great way for teams like Temple, if you lose a player, or Towson or Delaware or Navy, right? You get that money. Now you can go get a guy or two guys with that money. Or if you develop a player, that money goes into your pool and it goes to the coaches for developing the players or to recruiting budgets or whatever. So I think that's a fun kind of innovative way to do that as well. We talked about free agency, a couple different things. Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, listen, I think the Philadelphia Eagles are the best team in the NFC, and honestly, it's starting to look like it's not even close. Listen, I think Buffalo's. Let me restart that. I think Detroit is there with them. Don't get me wrong, and I think there's some teams, coming in the NFC into that picture that's really unique. But Philadelphia has been really, really, really dynamic and really impressive. I mean, it's what they've done to trend in the right direction at the right time. It's really hard to do. Like, you're playing your best football now, and they're playing really good teams and beating them up, right? Like, that is rare. Play Baltimore, play Pittsburgh, right? Like, they're something to be messed with. Defensively, Zach Bond and what they've done there is really impressive. The defensive backs, what they drafted, the depth they had there already. I think the one thing defensive line-wise, they don't have like a stalwart, like Son Reddick, TJ Watt situation. But a little bit more of a committee, and they got banged up and Brandon Graham got hurt, so that's a little concerning. But overall, the Philadelphia Eagles, to me, are just the depth. Saquon Barkley should win the MVP if it wasn't for a couple quarterbacks. It's a different group that's had a ton of success. And to me, like Coach Sirianni and Jalen Hurts, a lot of criticism. But that's what it's like playing in Philly, and you got to be used to it, and those guys are built for it. They handle it two different ways. Coach Sirianni is very out and about it. Jalen Hurts is very quiet about it. So that's interesting there too. Something to keep an eye on, though. Philly, really, really good. A player to keep your eye on now with David Montgomery going down in Detroit, a really, really good player. That's Craig Reynolds, man. Kutztown's finest, Abington, Pennsylvania's finest. Craig, when he plays and gets the ball, has success, scores touchdowns. He's really good on special teams. He's a mainstay in Detroit for years now. People love him. He's a part of the culture there. He's going to get touches, and people are going to find out real quick about Craig Reynolds. This is not just short term. Montgomery's out for a little bit of time. So Craig, with Gibbs and the rest of their players offensively they still have a lot of firepower. They still have a lot of really good offensive linemen. They still have a quarterback that's in the MVP debate. But Craig Reynolds, number 2 running back now for Detroit Lions, watch out for him. He's an absolute stud and will have major impact on that team just outside of special teams now, especially with Montgomery going down. All right, gang. That's my kind of rant. Stay tuned. Food Drinks Football. Check it out. Quick little pod today. Appreciate everybody's support here on the Colin Thompson Show. Changes coming on, which is good. A lot to share there. That'll be coming here in a little distant future. It's got to organize some things before I get to it. It's going to be a longer pod addressing a few things going on in my life. Everything is excellent. No complaints. Just changes with career and things like that. Which is exciting and nerve-wracking at the same time. So Bill Belichick's going to kill it in Carolina. Hunter deserved the Heisman and is a great player. He's going to be a stud in the league, play both ways. Eagles are the best team in the NFL, in my opinion, at least the NFC at this point in time. And, I appreciate everybody tuning in. College football, major changes coming. Thanks for tuning in. Hope everyone has an awesome, safe, and healthy holiday season. I'll talk to you guys next week.